The 2026 Tu-160 feels like what would happen if someone gave a muscle car engineer unlimited money, no fuel economy rules, and told them to build something that doesn't just break the speed limit, it erases it. On regular car reviews auto, we've talked about big engines, turbo setups, supercharged monsters, but the Tu-160 doesn't try to impress with numbers. It bullies numbers. It stands there like a flying Dodge Demon that ate a whole airport, grew wings, and decided the sky is its personal highway. Walking around this aircraft, the first thing you notice is the size. Everything about the Tu-160 is extra. The wings span wider than your imagination, and the swing wing mechanism feels like the aviation equivalent of adjustable suspension on a hypercar, except instead of helping with cornering, it helps with flying across continents at Mach speeds. It's not built to look sleek or pretty. It's built to intimidate the air around it. And when you get close to the engines, you understand why. The 4 NK3202 engines are like taking 4 Hellcat engines, stretching them, feeding them jet fuel, and telling them to behave. Except they don't behave. They roar, scream, and shove this giant machine forward at supersonic speeds. It's like pressing the accelerator on a car and instead of moving, the road runs away from you. On regular car reviews auto, we've talked about V8 growls and turbo spools, but the Tu-160 doesn't spool. It detonates. It feels like a natural disaster disguised as propulsion. The cockpit is less luxury sedan and more analog digital fusion. Buttons, switches, panels, like sitting inside the dashboard of 12 cars welded together. But there's a charm to it. While modern jets try to look like smartphones with wings, the Tu-160 keeps that old-school industrial personality but upgrades the systems underneath. It's like taking a 70s muscle car and giving it 2026 engine management, upgraded sensors, and a new EQ tune. It still feels classic, but it performs like something from the future. And the flight experience. Imagine flooring a supercar on an endless straight road. Now remove the road. Remove the horizon. Remove the limit. The Tu-160 accelerates in a way that feels impossible for something this size. You expect aircraft this big to be heavy, slow, lumbering, but the moment the engines hit full throttle, the weight disappears. It's like the atmosphere gives up resisting and just gets out of the way. The jet slices forward with the confidence of a vehicle that knows nothing else can match it. But the crazy part is the smoothness. For something with this much brute force, the ride isn't violent. At cruising speed, it feels more stable than some luxury sedans. The wings adjust, the systems balance everything, and suddenly you're gliding like you're in a quiet EV, if EVs traveled faster than sound, of course. The Tu-160 feels engineered for extremes, but it behaves like a gentleman once it settles into cruise. That dual personality is what makes it fascinating from a regular car reviews auto perspective. It's both beast and limousine. One thing that always surprises people is how modernized the 2026 version really is. Internally, it has upgraded avionics, improved navigation, better radar, and a cleaner digital backbone. Think of it like taking a classic flagship car and giving it adaptive cruise control, modern infotainment, better fuel mapping, and upgraded suspension without killing the personality that made it legendary in the first place. The 2026 Tu-160 isn't a redesign, it's a perfecting. Fuel consumption. Well, imagine reviewing a car that gets negative miles per gallon. The Tu-160 burns enough fuel to make supercar owners cry. This isn't a jet that worries about sipping. It gulps. But you don't buy a Tu-160 to save fuel. You buy it because it's the only machine that gives you this combination of speed, range, and presence. It's the ultimate expression of excess, like a vehicle built without compromise. And then there's the sound. You don't just hear the Tu-160. You feel it. It shakes the runway, the ground, the air, and probably your soul if you're standing too close. On regular car reviews auto, we talk about exhaust notes, cold starts, rev matches, but this is on another scale. The roar of the Tu-160 isn't mechanical. It's elemental. Like thunder that learned to speak. Inside the cabin, the space is surprisingly roomy compared to fighter jets. It's less cramped sports car and more high-end touring car. You can stand, walk, stretch, eat, and operate systems in something that feels like a flying command center. Comfort isn't the goal, but it's definitely not as harsh as many expect. It's one of those cases where utility ends up creating its own kind of comfort. Overall, the 2026 Tu-160 is the aviation equivalent of reviewing a legendary muscle car that's been reborn with modern tech, improved reliability, and even more power. It's iconic not because of one spec or one feature, but because the entire experience feels larger than life. It's a machine built for scale, for speed, for presence. It doesn't blend into any category, it creates its own. And that's why bringing it here to regular car reviews auto makes sense. Because sometimes a machine isn't just transportation. Sometimes it's a statement. And the Tu-160 is the loudest, fastest, boldest statement the sky has ever seen.